Hey.
Sorry, it's one of those days, Bill.
Hi.
It's a cloudy, warm day in Saskatoon. I don't know if you knew, but it was like minus 40 the last week, so.
Oh, wow.
Have you been to Saskatoon before, or?
No, the furthest west I made was Dauphin, but that was several years ago. I haven't made it to Saskatoon yet.
Was that for the festival?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
You know, I think Ukrainians out west are much nicer than they are here in Toronto.
You know, that's good for her to know because...
Don't tell anybody that I said that.
Don't worry. This is what all Western Canadians know. So, my name is Nahaylo. I am from a Ukrainian-Canadian background, actually as well as a British-Ukrainian background, but I identify myself as a Ukrainian-Canadian. I grew up in a very passionate family for our culture. When Maidan happened, it kind of sparked this fire inside of me. I found my identity, I think. I've always been Ukrainian-Canadian, but I was never a dancer or anything like that, so I never had anything to associate myself with those kinds of things that's pretty concrete. So with this, I just needed to spread the awareness of what was going on, and I did whatever I could in our community. I went to Ukraine, and I've been to Ukraine before, but this time I just fell in love with it, and I just felt this connection. So then with that, I started UKIE Fridays, which is kind of such a minimal thing, which has become kind of international without anything. It was just me posting on Fridays that I wore Ukrainian outfits. I tried to switch it up every Friday, but it gets kind of difficult to find different things to wear and showcase, I guess, Ukrainian pride. So that's kind of how I started it.
And my name is Iryna Matsiuk. You can tell by my accent that I'm kind of directly from Ukraine. Immigrated to Canada about 5 years ago, but I know Canada for over a decade right now because my other job or the other passion that they had is help people from Ukraine as well as some other countries right now to immigrate to Canada. And me coming from Ukraine and being born in Ukraine and raised still for the majority of time during Soviet times, I wasn't Ukrainian until I actually moved to Canada, which is a very, as ridiculous as it sounds, I found my Ukrainian identity here in Canada, and especially very thankful to Saskatchewan Ukrainian community that gave me different opportunities to volunteer. I have never volunteered in Ukraine before, and here, I started slow with the Ukrainian Day in the Park and some other festivals, and then, it was growing slowly until Maidan happened, and this is where was the time where I felt like I could do a little bit more. So I'm proud to say that I was one of the first people in Saskatchewan to start rallies in support of Ukraine and kind of like building that group of, very passionate and energized people to support Ukraine in all different ways. And this is actually where I met Emma about 2.5 years ago, almost. And so I think that we were quite fortunate to meet under such circumstances. And what started with, just like helping each other and helping Ukraine, grew up in a very good friendship, and now in a business partnership. There's some stories I cannot tell.
Exactly. Truthfully, we were on our way to Dauphin, and it kind of started with my chocha, my aunt in England. She sells things at festivals in England, and she really enjoys it. And she kept kind of whispering to me, Emma, you should do this in Canada. You should do this. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know where to start. And, I would love to do that. But anyway, so I kind of was explaining it to her. And from Saskatoon to Dauphin, it's about a 6.5-hour drive. So we had a lot of time to talk. And so when we were explaining it, all of a sudden, I think, hour 1, we were discussing it. Then hour 4, she was like, I'm kind of interested. Would you want to partner up with me? So it honestly started then. And then when we were in Dauphin, the energy, it was the 50th anniversary. It was just amazing. And we came back saying, we got to do this. There's a demand for it. People love it. And I don't know, we have a passion for it as well. So we just said, well, let's just do it.
And besides that, Emma was and still is a huge fan of online shopping, not so much as I am.
Don't
like,
tell my
surprisingly. Emma was and still is an online shopper, and at a certain point having this UKIE, I had quite a few outfits, and like I was scrambling, like I said, like I don't have anything new to wear, like to surprise people, or we Ukrainians like to kind of like get other people jealous of what we wear. So like there was nothing to boast of, and this is where Emma started. Ordering some things online from Ukraine, but it's not as easy as it sounds. First of all, language barrier. If you do not speak Ukrainian, not all websites have an English version. Sometimes if you switch to English, like the prices jump up to, Canadian or American dollar. Also shipping, and for the most part, like it wasn't as maybe, cheap, like when it comes to like the final bill that we have to pay. So this is where, we thought, wow, this is kind of like a niche that we might tap into, because as much as, there's a lot of different Ukrainian like stores, especially during festivals, pop-up shops. For the most part, we would see museums as well. Like we have 2 very good museums, Ukrainian museums here in Saskatoon, for example, that also sell clothes and different accessories. But, first of all, it's affordability, and secondly, like the choice. Mm-hmm. And our idea was, modern Ukrainian clothes, whether it's something you can wear to a festival or something that you can, wear like casually at home or to some kind of barbecue party, or maybe something that you would want to wear to the office job, it's something to dress a little bit more dressed up.
We definitely have kind of a range of things. We have from loungewear, men's and women's sweatpants, sweatshirts, matching sets, T-shirts, to you're going to a formal dress, party dresses, as we were saying, just kind of an array of things. You can get from your traditional to your more modern. We have the Porshivki, we have the Vyshyvanki, we have quite a bit of different things, but then we have the modern side, which is more of a print. So it's using the colors, and actually this is kind of one of them, which is just a print. That we love, and it's such a hit here, that you can wear with jeans or you can dress it up. So we want to show that the diversity, I guess, with the Ukrainian clothing, that it doesn't just have to be your Baba's old Ukrainian clothing that we wear to church, right? That we all grew up with. We want to showcase that it can be worn in all aspects of your life, and not just for Ukrainian events or anything like that. That you don't have to be Ukrainian also to wear the clothes. So I guess we have a range of everything from modern to traditional.
I would say the selection of the products that we have right now on our website is like probably maybe like a 10% of what we would like to bring. And at the moment, because we are still so new, we are talking to several larger manufacturers in Ukraine, as well as some other people who either do their own individual designs of different things or can implement our ideas of a design. And so I think that there's still many more exciting things to be seen on our website a little bit later, maybe in a month or 2.
Yeah. The company here is one of the first that I saw that I believe my aunt showed me one day and just said, like, Emma, you need to check out the stuff. Just this material is like a chiffon, but with this print. So it's not an actual embroidery. So it just showcases the modern side of such a beautiful piece of art that we're all used to wearing during our Ukrainian festivals, Easter, whatever. So we found this large manufacturer in Ukraine, and, we got connected with them and said, we want to sell this stuff. The stuff is going to be popular. There's a demand in North America. There's a few smaller places that are selling it, but not on a large scale. And we just said, we have to bring this over to North America.
And the main thing, I guess, is, it's how you present it, right? Because in many cases, again, even like shopping in Ukraine, not all manufacturers that have very beautiful things, they showcase them properly. And again, maybe even our website is not ideal, but so far the feedback from our customers and, the general Ukrainian community in particular, they say that, it's beautiful how you portray the things. And I think that's the key to, online shopping. And, kind of like online selling tools. And another thing, between me and Emma, we probably own like majority of things that we can find in our sizes, and because we want to try, whether it washes well, how's the, whether it wears well. And so far, if we notice something that does not work well in terms of quality, like we wouldn't sell it because we definitely want to keep it, affordable, but still at the best quality we can get. And, as Emma mentioned, we do work with large manufacturers, but we work with some, smaller businesses or even individuals. For example, our infinity scarves that we're selling like crazy, and we did not, we can't satisfy the demands so far. So that was the idea that Emma was born by Emma, but then, we connected with this woman in Ukraine, and she said, I can do it. And so far, we got the best feedback about it. And we also work with some smaller businesses, mostly coming from Western Ukraine, but again, due to very sad and, events in Ukraine, the Ukrainian culture in Ukraine developed and is very flourishing, and the fashion industry definitely reflects that. So we were surprised and happy to find some good contacts in Eastern Ukraine and Central Ukraine, and this, we will be working with people because they are coming up with new, fresh ideas, maybe not specifically, Western Ukrainian style of embroidery, because it's not a secret that majority of people, immigrants in Canada, are coming from Western regions, so they're kind of more used to this, typical patterns, colors, and combinations of things. So, but there's, Ukraine has such a variety of different styles when it comes to colors and combination of patterns. So we will be happy to bring it to Canada again.
I found when we were doing our research and things with young designers in Ukraine, and now I don't want to speak for them because we're not experts in that whatsoever, but we just noticed that depending on which the region that they were in, were reflecting of what kind of ethnic clothing they were coming out with, modern or traditional or a twist of both. I think that Ukrainian style from the beginning there's endless possibilities. The colors, the patterns, the cuts that you could wear, the accessories you include with it, from a huska to the beading embroidery to embroidery colors, everything. The possibilities are endless, which is, I think, gives the upper hand, I guess, to designers, right, with their traditional clothing, which is now being seen more as modern or, used to show their patriotic side, I guess.
And I would add that, there's, again, because we live in modern, day and age, there's more colors to be brought in by new and young fashion designers. For example, those who were accepted by, Western world in particular, names that stand for themselves right now, like Vita Kin, for example, or some maybe, less known names, less known names in Western world, but, very prominent fashion designers in Ukraine, like Oksana, Karavancька, etc. They bring new colors, for example, your typical vyshyvanka, with the color pattern, but the base material color would be, for example, bright blue, that is not characteristic in traditional old Ukrainian culture, just because they could not get that color from any of the nature resources, right? So I would say, definitely, I think that how it will evolve in the future, that's my personal opinion, they will follow some kind of trends, but at this point, anything that brings color and makes it bright, and that floral patterns are very popular in the world right now, and Ukraine is very rich in floral patterns when it comes to, again, khustas, or some, right now, even more things like dresses, skirts, different kind of suits that are made of this, based on this pattern. So there's no limit, sky is the limit, I guess.
Look at, I believe it was April, there was a article in Vogue on Vita Kin and her inspiration with her ethnic clothing line. Look at Valentino, which is everyone knows Valentino. It's a very high fashion runway. Things they have the same patterns. Gucci followed it. Gucci is doing a huge embroidery pattern, many reds, many poppies, those things. So, when I'm looking through any kind of fashion magazines, anything blogs online, they're really hitting the mark. Whether it's an intentional thing or not too sure, but it's just blowing up. And like I said, for them, the possibilities are endless of what they can do with the design.
It is also interesting to know that, we initially when we started this business, we understood that, our market is probably the Ukrainian community, And it's the same in Canada. Like if you're not Ukrainian yourself, you probably are married into Ukrainian, into Ukrainian family. So we knew that, like the market will be quite large in Canada and then the States. Like this is what we see as our market, dominantly. But it was interesting to see that people who have no connection whatsoever, maybe they have Ukrainian friends and that's it. They are also buying things from us. And some of the trends would be, cultures that are somehow similar or, very close in terms of like type of embroidery or type of colors. So that will be like, Mexican, people coming with Mexican background or, from Spanish background. Some people from Latin America's countries, like they also buying either the scarves. Of course, they would not probably buy the typical traditional Ukrainian vyshyvanka, like the blouse. But, they are looking at colors and just, this is something similar to, like very close to our culture. And like, I would definitely wear it because it looks beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we also had requests for cooperation from, Ukrainian communities outside of North America, which, there was a request from Brazil, whether, we can open some kind of like, a satellite store or, which was like, way too overwhelming for us in the first month or so.
I think we got it the first week. Request. So we were like, what? Yeah. We had some requests from Spain to buy some of our products, just boutiques and that they're really interested. New York, just everything. So we were quite overwhelmed and it was fantastic. But on a smaller note, even my non-Ukrainian friends, at first they knew of this Ukrainian store, this online store that I was working on, and it wasn't public yet as much, like just in my little friends community. And they said, okay, that's cool, but we probably won't shop there because it's just Ukrainian stuff. We're not Ukrainian. So and then I launched it, and I had so many text messages and Facebook messages like, we love your stuff. How do we get this, this, and this? And I'm not even Ukrainian, and I just thought, I told you guys. I just said, just wait. So.
And I just, as much as we understand that probably our main, audience in terms of shoppers could be women, whether they're shopping for themselves or for their kids or for their husbands, boyfriends, fathers, etc. Just 5 minutes before we started our call today, I received a text message from a friend who is not Ukrainian, and her husband-to-be is not Ukrainian either. She says, like, he really loves your T-shirt. How can I buy it? Things like that, which is really nice because we see that it's being popular. And again, for us, from business perspective, we see that the market is changing. So it's not only the Ukrainian community or Ukrainian-related community. It's, we can tap into pretty much like, overall online retail industry.
I would say the majority is Canadian, and actually not just locally in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan. We have a lot right across. We have from British Columbia to Nova Scotia that are ordering, which is fantastic. One of our biggest places is New York State, which we got really excited for that because, I don't know, New York is known as like fashion capital and quite a large Ukrainian community. They have their area. So the fact that they're buying from us, we were definitely giggling about that, and we're happy about that.
Hopefully not only because of Canadian and American dollar these days, but that definitely makes it more attractive to them.
Yeah.
But we've got very good requests, and we do have many customers coming back, after they tried the product, after they tried the service, because we try to keep it very personal. Mm-hmm. So it's not, we do not rely on automatic auto reply sent by our website. We also always follow up with the people, especially if there's, any kind of changes, any kind of issues, any kind of, for example, sometimes if people place a pre-order, there's different waiting times that we can experience based on, again, a learning curve. We didn't know that during Christmas and New Year's, the delay will be as long as it was. We knew there will be a delay in delivery, but we didn't know that it will take so much, right?
Yeah.
So, the best emails we get, which we pretty much get on a daily basis. I love this stuff. I love your items. I've got so many compliments, and here's my photo to post on social media. And, not even us asking about it. So I think that's the best reward so far that we can receive from our customers.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say that our infinity scarves by volume is the most popular thing that we sell. And I'm proud to say that it is one of our own creations.
14 colors?
Yeah, 14 colors. Like I said, the traditional muska is great to wear, and everyone kind of owns one, and, you know, Bala has one and everything like that. But sometimes people, you know, have difficulty knowing how to wear it properly or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, infinity scarves right now are in. You can get any color, any pattern, anything in. And I just said, you know what, we need this in the Huska material. So my chocha has a friend in Lviv who is a seamstress, and we just said, look, could you take this idea and make it and send us some? And honestly, since then, about a month, we have sold, how much would you say, like 60, 70 of them? And that's just one lady making it out of her home, which we're proud to support her as well, where she's actually hired another person to work out of her home because we've been so busy, and we have other ideas coming.
We also were surprised to see that, for example, we brought some beautiful coats, very good quality, and, you know, like really beautiful. I love them probably. You know, my mom said when she saw a website, and she's in Ukraine, she said, like, you know, I love everything, but coats would be my favorite product so far. And, you know, because of Saskatchewan winter, like, you know, prairies and white collar not being so wearable, so to say, like, you know, we brought several white coats, and we're thinking like, well, we probably won't sell them. And out of all coats, white coats is number one seller, you know, so far. So again, you know, this, they were selling very well too. And out of, you know, other categories, I would say sweatshirts. Yeah, sweatshirts are very popular. Again, like our white, we have two kinds of white sweatshirts so far, and they have been going really fast, as well as some other things. So we are interested and kind of intrigued to see, you know, how we do with the kind of spring and summer collections, because, you know, we are learning as we go, and sometimes the things that we have and we think, like, you know, will sell well, like they're selling well, but not as well as we predicted.
Yeah.
And there's some things that are just going fast, and, you know, like we can't keep up with demand.
I mean, sometimes we laugh just because, like I said, there are things that I'm like, I love this, let's order 1 million of them. And then they're slowly being sent, where the other things were just off the shelves completely. So it's just, again, a huge learning curve for us, but we're having a lot of fun doing it, for sure.
And sometimes when I go back to our conversation, like during the 6-hour drive, and it's like, well, I don't think this is what we talked about, is it?
Yeah, it's been fun, definitely. And we are so excited. Like we said, this went from a hobby to, let's take this somewhere, you know, and we're ready to put that energy into it. We have this huge whiteboard here that has all the dates of different festivals and things coming up. You know, there's Saskatoon is very popular for their Vesna Festival, which is in May. Edmonton is a huge Ukrainian community. Winnipeg has, or even Manitoba has a Ukrainian community. So I think that we've got a few road trips in the future for us. We want to make our presence. We want to do some pop-up shops. We'd like to offer some of the local ladies here, and even in Saskatchewan, we're planning on doing some, you know, wine nights with pop-up shops. So we'll come to you with our stuff, and, you know, let's have a great ladies' evening. So we have a lot of ideas coming up, and once the holiday season was kind of busy for everybody, so it's kind of died down. So we're really planning a lot more coming up, definitely.
We still feel that, you know, like we are far, not behind, but, you know, far from how we imagine our online business, like, you know, let's say our website and inventory. So we said now we are putting quite a few hours into talking to new suppliers and, you know, bringing the items that we think will be popular, that we love them. And in terms of pop-up shops, we also have several requests or, you know, offers to cooperate in terms of pop-up shops, not only in Saskatchewan. So the people say, like, you know, we have this base already, so just, you know, come and, you know, promote Ukrainian culture and Ukrainian fashion, just because it's another way of expressing your Ukrainian side, I guess.
We're already having late night meetings on what we're looking for summer, spring, and we have our order list, we have our manufacturers' contact details and emails being sent out, and Skype meetings being set up to coordinate with them. I'll be going in March actually to Ukraine, and so there I'll be meeting with a lot of manufacturers and a lot of local people that we want to support. So if we could give somebody else a job or an income or anything like that, then we definitely want to look at the smaller people before the larger people. But then again, we just need to see what our demand is, right? So with that being said, we're working hard for spring and summer, definitely.
Perhaps if you ask us, like 1 year from now, then we'd be more maybe confident or a little bit more knowledgeable what to expect. Right now, it's just, we go with the flow. I feel we are going in the right direction, but we are prepared to face some challenges along the way.
Yeah. When we went into this, we knew social media was a huge, huge tool. Everything we read, everything that we did to prepare for this and to launch, even our launch party, we used a social media tool to invite people. Everything that you can use for e-commerce and online stores and advertising, marketing, everything like that. So it's a huge learning curve for us. We're still in the process of learning. It just takes a lot of time to go through all these things. So today there's such a huge competition out there. People don't just want to buy from just any store, right? We don't want to be the next superstore of Ukrainian goods. We want to be very personable. Our name has boutique in it. And, we want to have a connection with our clients and our customers. We want them to know that we are just two UP girls from different backgrounds that have the same love and share the same kind of pride for Ukraine. So with that being said, there's such a competition out with marketing and getting to know the person. There's blogging, video blogging, there's, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Flickr, all these things that, I thought I was up to date with my social media, and I've never even heard of Flickr until this kind of thing. So anyways, we are still learning, and we're hoping to get out there more and actually to start vlogging and things like that. But, it's a huge learning curve. So we're getting there. But
so far, I think Facebook probably was the best experience for us. Our website has a link to Facebook, so pretty much people that are on our Facebook page, they can go directly, can be taken directly to the product page that they are looking at. So it's this feature is called like Shop Now. Otherwise, our website statistics shows that most visitors to our website are coming from Facebook. That means that again, we will need to put more hours and efforts into our social media and try to, be even better and more approachable, I guess.
Yeah. Just keep in mind that we are two Ukrainian girls, not from a fashion background or anything like that. So we're learning as we go. We're open to suggestions or anything. If anybody's looking for anything specific, we're always open to listening to our customers and to growing with them. And this is just an exciting experience for us. Like we said before, it went from a hobby to something like, let's see where we can take this. And we love doing it. It's late nights, it's wine, it's, not the best diet sometimes because it really is late nights. We do have full-time jobs. So, but overall, it's been such an amazing experience, and I'm so excited to see where we're going with this.
And we are truly overwhelmed with the support from Ukrainian community and also from people that may know us. We are both quite active in social media, I'd say. And, like one of the indicators that, may not be a big deal for some other people, but we hit 1,000 likes on our Facebook page within our 2 weeks, first 2 weeks after launching the page. And now we have about from 80 to 100 likes per week growing. So one of our other goals or targets that we set from the very beginning when we were thinking about this business is we are not here just simply to make money. Money is always good, but there has to be some passion and story behind it. And one of our stories, we want to continue supporting and helping Ukraine. So it's, an additional source of maybe generating that interest in the Ukrainian community and, maybe earning our name for ourselves and being able to reach people to, maybe do some fundraisers from time to time. Yeah. Also, part of our proceeds, we are planning to dedicate to certain charities or, to certain people that are in need. One of the first things that we did as a business, I have a personal connection in Ukraine. And, this is the boy who actually has very serious health issues since he was born, and he needs, medical attention all the time, and he needs obviously money for it. So I used to do it as an individual on my own. Now it's good that we have, this business connection, and we did it locally mostly, but I just talked to my mom yesterday, and she's a teacher to this boy. And she says that, his family is very, very thankful of this, little but still a support that we can give as a result of, our business idea. Mm-hmm. We are supporting currently different Ukrainian local events, mostly Malankas. We've been sending items, donating items for silent auctions, etc. So then again, we want to help local Ukrainian community. We want to help Ukraine and people in need. And that's another thing that drives us, as individuals and us as a business. We actually coming to the Blower Festival this year, not as vendors.
Oh,
not as vendors yet, just to see, what's happening, and because it's such a big event for us that we feel like we have to come prepared if we are coming as a vendor. Yeah. And we also Miss Ukrainian
Canada, which will be happening July 1st in Mississauga. So, that's going to be where people will be mentioned as well. I kind of play a role in that, being the provincial coordinator for that event. So you'll be seeing us out soon in the summer.
So, yeah. Well, I would say that it was much easier than we thought. The things that, we definitely put a lot of hours into it.
Yes.
But, when you look at this, and some people still, cannot asking us, so is it just you too? Even Emma's father, he asked, so Emma, who did you partner with? Who does all the work, So I would say it's not as difficult as it seems, but you definitely have to, approach that from the, right angle. And I'm kind of, fortunate to have some business background, and I knew many things, and, Emma brings a little bit different things to the table. So I would say our best thing was just this really ideal partnership of a completely different background, knowledge. Sometimes we spend hours not arguing, but kind of saying no, I don't I think that this should be, the way of portraying things, and but it's great because at the end we come up with really a great idea and a great result. But I would say that, again, we are very fortunate to have each other and to have great response from the community.
Yeah.